Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike Tiempo Legend 5 AG in the brand new Intense Heat Pack colorway, which consists of laser orange, total orange, and Persian violet. Now inside the box they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is black in color with total orange strings, orange Tiempo branding on one side, as well as an orange Nike swoosh on the back side. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly and we'll take a closer look at the AG variation of the Legend 5. Now in today's video we're going to be taking a closer look at the colorway itself, talking specifically about the AG stud pattern that is featured on this shoe, as well as talk fit, feel, and performance of the Legend 5 in general. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around, watch the entire video. If you're perhaps interested in a pair of these for yourself, check out the review page on my website. It'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page you will find buy it now links along with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you will be able to pick up this brand new release below its normal retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below in the description, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's talk about the colorway itself. Now being that this is part of the Intense Heat Pack, it of course does have the Persian violet with a black outline Nike swoosh on both the lateral and medial side of the shoe. It's a synthetic piece of material that's stitched on over top of the leather, as you guys can see, and it has a bit of a dimpled finish to it, which looks really good. It doesn't have quite the same color change effect as some of the other colorway variations from the other lines. It definitely looks like more of a blue than a purple in most lighting situations, but nonetheless it is shiny, and as you guys can see as I just move it around, it does reflect the light and just looks pretty flashy in general. I'm a big fan of how it looks against that laser orange background. Speaking of laser orange, that takes up the majority of the shoe, as you guys can see. Most of the upper, the tongue, the laces, as well as the entire sole plate is that laser orange color, which is kind of like a light orange with a little bit of a yellowish tinge to it. The last time we saw it on a full-blown shoe or a full-blown colorway was with the Mercurial several months ago. This is the laser orange Superfly 4, and you can see side by side the two shades of orange are very similar, not quite the same, mainly because this is Flyknit and this is kangaroo leather, but nonetheless I think it looks pretty good, and the leather itself does have a matte finish to it on this particular colorway, which is worth keeping in mind because they do seem to play with the finishes a little bit on the Legend 5s depending on the colorway. The rear portion of the shoe, as you guys can see, is a brighter total orange, which accents really well with the lighter laser orange. And then you have black detailing throughout the shoe with the outline in the swoosh, the branding on the tongue, the heel liner, the Tiempo branding on the back of the heel, and the Nike swoosh there on the bottom. So all in all, I think it's a pretty good looking colorway, especially if you're looking for a brightly colored pair of Legend 5s. A lot of the colorways have been a little bit more subtle. These ones will definitely stand out, but let me know your thoughts on them down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as performance is concerned, I'm a huge fan of the Tiempo Legend 5. In fact, I would say it's my personal favorite shoe at the moment. I made a video on this explaining why exactly that is, so if you did miss it and you want to check it out, I'll leave an annotation on screen so you can go ahead and watch that if you're at all interested. So the Legend 5, essentially what it has to offer is a classic kangaroo leather touch without lacking modern innovation, and Nike has done that by implementing a couple of subtle kind of tweaks to a classic kangaroo leather shoe, if that makes any sense. So the majority of the upper is a very premium kangaroo leather. It's got a good thickness to it, so you get that nice plush padded touch on the ball, which is what people are looking for when they buy kangaroo leather soccer shoes. It's got this nice quilted stitching pattern, and again, it just feels really good when making touches on the ball. Now, the tongue is in the middle of the shoe, and it is made from a synthetic material with a memory foam insert. A lot of people would complain about that. I wasn't too happy about it at first, but honestly, once you wear the shoe, the way that the lacing system is set up, you essentially just wrap it around that memory foam area, and you get a nice uniform touch across the entire foot. So while the tongue is synthetic as opposed to leather, the touch, like I said, is pretty consistent across the entire shoe. No major complaints there whatsoever. And of course, the upper is finished off with ACC, all conditions control, acting as your wet control element. So you actually get pretty decent grip on the ball in wet weather playing conditions, despite the upper itself not really having any added grip to it whatsoever. It's a pretty slick, smooth finish, similar to what you'd find from any other natural leather soccer shoe. Now the kind of additive here with the leather upper is the Hyper Shield liner. You can see the branding right there on the medial side of the shoe, and essentially what that Hyper Shield liner is, it's a honeycomb mesh that lines the inside of the shoe, and it's the only lining material. It's similar to the base layer found on Nike skin on the Hypervenom Phantom, And essentially what that base layer of mesh does is it eliminates the need for several different layers of material that you would find in a more traditional lining for a leather upper. Now, because you have less layers, you just have a more consistent touch. There's less between your foot and the ball when making contact, which is really, really nice. So it doesn't have quite the same bulky feel as a lot of leather shoes will, even though it is about the same thickness of leather. It's very natural on your feet. It doesn't restrict the flexibility or just the overall softness of the leather against your foot, which is really, really nice. Plus, it has the added benefit of drying a lot more quickly because it's an open mesh layer lining the inside of the shoe. It's not locking in any of that moisture. So they'll dry out, I would say, 2 to 3 times more quickly than a traditional leather shoe would with a traditional liner. So that's definitely a positive of the Legend 5 and its Hypershield liner. Has a pretty traditional cut in the heel, a plastic internal heel counter. The lining material is a smooth synthetic leather. You actually have perforated synthetic leather on the rear portion and a decent amount of padding, so step in comfort, not really an issue. You won't have too much trouble breaking this shoe in. And then of course the insole is fully removable, mesh liner on top, perforations throughout. It's made from a single layer of this fairly dense yellow foam, plus you have the added pour-on inserts under the heel as well as in the forefoot. So again, step in comfort and just underfoot cushioning in general, I would say is above average with the Legend 5 in comparison to a lot of high-end shoes out there. Now, moving on to the sole plate and stud pattern. This, of course, is the AG, or artificial grass variation of the Legend 5, designed specifically for use on artificial grass. Now, I know a lot of people wear firm ground shoes on AG fields, and I can say that I don't recommend that at all. It doesn't matter what shoe it is. I know a lot of you guys ask me questions about this, but honestly, I really do believe that if you are playing any significant amount of time on artificial grass fields, it's really, really important to invest in a pair of AG shoes. Not only are they going to be more durable, they're also going to perform a little bit better, and most importantly, they're going to be safer than a firm ground pair of shoes on artificial grass. So as far as durability is concerned, what they've done to make the Legend 5 more durable and more well suited for use on artificial grass is they've added this textured layer here around the forefoot and toe box area. You won't find this on the firm ground or soft ground models. That's there, one, to protect the surface of the leather so it's not going to wear away against a very abrasive artificial grass playing surface. Two, it's also going to strengthen the bond between the sole plate and the upper, ensuring that the shoe kind of stays together and maintains its construction while you're wearing it. So again, they really beefed up the front area of the shoe just to ensure maximum durability. Plus the sole plate itself is going to be significantly thicker than the standard sole plate that you're going to find on the firm ground as well as the soft ground variation. Artificial grass, especially on an outdoor summer field, can get very, very hot. So something like this that's a little bit thicker is going to do a better job of dispersing the heat and just ensuring that your shoes last as long as they possibly can. Now, as far as performance in the stud pattern is concerned, it's pretty much the same variation you're going to find on the Hypervenom line with their AG stud patterns as well. So it's kind of just a carryover, no big deal. The performance is really, really good. But really the main reason why you'd want artificial grass studs for use on artificial grass is it has the same type of sensation as wearing firm ground shoes on natural grass. It's just a natural type of feel. With obviously two different stud patterns and two different types of ground. So with a firm ground stud pattern on artificial grass, often they can be a little bit too long, a little bit unstable, and very, very clingy, which is a safety issue we'll talk about in just a second. With this, you can see that the studs themselves are about 3/4 the length, sometimes even about half the length of the average firm ground stud, which is all you need for artificial grass. It's very, very shallow playing surface, so you don't necessarily need the studs to dig in really deep. In fact, you don't want them to dig in really deep. And of course, the studs themselves are there's just a lot more of them in comparison to a firm ground layout. That's again to ensure maximum stability so you have as much traction as possible. Plus you're not going to feel like you're kind of tipping over or just unstable in any way whatsoever. So as far as safety is concerned, that's really the main reason why you would want to buy an AG stud pattern if you're spending any significant amount of time on artificial grass. The studs themselves are rounded in shape and they also are tipped with kind of a softer, flexible, rubbery material. So when any kind of major force is applied, they actually have some give to them. This eliminates that clingy sensation where your foot feels like it's locked in place, which is what you'll get from pretty much any firm ground shoe on artificial grass, which is a major safety issue. If you push off too hard, if you push off in the wrong way, if you're planted and somebody else bumps you in the wrong way or something like that, unexpectedly perhaps, you can cause some pretty serious damage to your knees, your ankles, even your hips. There are some major horror stories out there. I've never gone through any of these significant injuries. Haven't really played too much with firm ground shoes on artificial grass, honestly. And since using AG shoes on artificial grass, I won't go back to wearing firm ground shoes on AG fields ever again. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel safe. This feels so much better. And like I said, it's such a good option. I'm sure some of you guys will share your horror stories down below in the comment section as far as what your experiences have been with wearing firm ground shoes on artificial grass. Because like I said, it just isn't safe at all. It's the main reason why AG stud patterns are becoming more and more popular, why companies are putting them out in the first place. And again, if you're spending any significant amount of time on artificial grass, I would strongly recommend picking up an AG stud pattern. So that's pretty much it as far as performance is concerned. And next we'll move on to a quick weigh-in so we can see how lightweight these guys are. As far as weight is concerned, believe it or not, there's a pretty significant weight difference between the firm ground and AG variation of the Legend 5, which is what we're going to see right now using the scale in real time. Keep in mind that these are both in brand new condition, both in the exact same size 9.5 US, so this is a very fair comparison. We'll start off with the firm ground model, throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at a relatively lightweight 8.15 ounces. It's the equivalent of 231 grams. So remember those numbers, change the scale back to ounces, pull these off, and throw on the AG variation, and you can see that they weigh in at 9.7 ounces. So you're talking about more than an ounce and a half weight difference between the firm ground and the AG models, the equivalent of 275 grams. So this is still by no means a heavy shoe. It's certainly heavier than the firm ground variation, but like I talked about earlier, they made some significant changes to beef up the AG version of the shoe to make it as durable as possible. So again, if you're playing on artificial grass, you want a pair of Legend 5s, not only is the AG model going to perform the best and be the safest option, it's also going to be significantly more durable because, like I said, it is made specifically for that particular playing surface. Alright, so here is a look at the Tiempo Legend 5s on feet. On my left foot I have the stock laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot I have a pair of reflective royal blue SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, check out the website sr4ulaces.com. It'll be linked in the description of this video. Now in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, they're actually very, very comfortable shoes, as you might expect from something that has a kangaroo leather upper. The leather is soft and flexible and just feels very natural on your feet from right out of the box. But of course, after some break-in time, it will stretch, form to the exact shape of your foot, and just provide a very comfortable custom sensation overall. Now the shape of the boot is the X1.1 last. It has the exact same last as the Nike Hypervenom Phantom. Now of course the shoe does feel quite a bit different in comparison to the Hypervenom Phantom, but with that being said, you can definitely tell that it's wider and narrower in certain spots just like that shoe. So you have a good amount of width in the midfoot as well as in the forefoot, while the toe box area fits a little bit tighter from brand new, but again, everything stretches after some break-in time, and these are shoes that'll fit just about everybody, even if you do have wider feet. Certainly Nike's widest model alongside the Nike Premier. As far as sizing is concerned, they do run about a half size small. So instead of wearing my usual 9 US, I bump it up to a 9.5, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of Nike Tiempo Legend 5s, or anything from the current Tiempo line for that matter, they run a half size small, so I recommend ordering a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the AG Nike Tiempo Legend 5, a shoe that I can very, very strongly recommend. It is my personal favorite, and honestly, if you're looking for something that has that classic kangaroo leather touch and feel, you really can't go wrong with the Legend 5 at all. Again, if you guys do want more detailed information on the overall performance, check out the detailed written review on my website. First link down below in the description. Also on that review page, you will find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you can pick these up below their normal retail price. So be sure to go ahead and check that out if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself. If you have any questions at all regarding this particular shoe, leave them down below in the comment section, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.